Snappy Tomato Pizza Skyhawk Talk continues. Chris Brinkley with Coach Jason Simpson. And the Skyhawks set to take on Austin Peay in a matchup that's coming up Saturday night at 6 on the road in Clarksville. We'll go on the air with the First Take pregame show. Chris Brinkley, myself, John Abel, and Tom Britt. And, Coach, a couple things to talk about before we talk about that. A release coming out a few days ago. The OVC announced a 6-game football television package that's set to air on Fox College Sports, that's FCS, the 6-game schedule featuring each of the 9 OVC football-playing institutions at least once. The UT Martin Eastern Kentucky game will be on the 29th, and then Tennessee State and Jacksonville State on the 20th. On the 27th, it's Eastern Illinois at Eastern Kentucky. November 3rd is Tennessee State at Murray. The 10th is Southeast at Eastern Illinois, and on the 17th, Tennessee Tech at Austin Peay. Good to get that coverage, and that first game on the OVC broadcast will be us in Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I mean, first of all, anytime we play EKU, it'll be a big game, and it's at home, so that makes it double exciting. And then plus to be on television, because all kids want to play on television. It's great advertising, for our university. It's an opportunity for us to kind of be the, as we said before, the front porch to our school. And I hope they have some really neat commercials and things, promoting our school, because that's where else can you get that type of advertising?
Kevin Ingram, the host of Wake Up Zone on 104.5 The Zone, that's where our own Jordan Tinkle, who worked at our flagship station WCMT, is now So
tell Jordan tell him to be a little bit biased.
I will.
We could use a homer, couldn't we?
We'll set that up, Coach. Yeah. Let's look at the Ohio Valley Conference games from Saturday. UT Martin was the only Thursday night game as we beat Southeastern Louisiana 23-6. If you saw any of these games or want to comment on them, feel free to jump in there. Tennessee State, well, we'll go with that one later because we're going to talk about Austin Peay. But Illinois State wins over Eastern Illinois 54-51 at Illinois State. What a game, double overtime.
They are scoring some points. Hadn't seen them on tape, but I think they've been over 50 twice. 2 of the 3 games, or at least over 45. So we know they got an outstanding quarterback. So, but they, they're I'm sure they're excited there in Eastern Illinois.
Oregon gets the win over Tennessee Tech, a good Oregon team, 63-14, the final in that one.
Yeah, I'm sure Watson will tell you that, it's a good experience for them and a great paycheck, and now they're ready to get back to, they're 2-1, and who they got this week, I'm not real sure. I'm sure it's probably somebody in the OVC, but they're a good team. They're going to have
Murray's at Eastern.
You're going to have to. I'm talking about Tennessee Tech.
Oh, Tennessee Tech. I'm sorry. Tennessee Tech is at Southeast Missouri.
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll be heavily favored in that game, and they're a team that we're going to have to go on the road and play well to win.
Eastern Kentucky wins at Coastal Carolina 35-17.
On the road, and they apparently didn't play very well the week before against Morehead State, but they go on the road and get a big win, and we know where we'll be facing when they come to town.
Southern Illinois wins over Southeast Missouri 35-14 in Carbondale.
Southern Illinois kind of stumbled the first 2 weeks, so you didn't really know what was going on with them, but apparently, they got it back on track, and hadn't seen Seaman on tape yet, but, I know they lost their quarterback early in camp, so they're probably having to make some adjustments.
And Murray wins at Missouri State 28-23.
Yeah. Big win for them on the road. Very kind of surprised with their scoring. They're kind of like us. We're supposed to be 2 of the better offenses in the league, but both of us, have not had a big, huge offensive output yet. So, it'd be interesting to see how they do this week.
Okay, now we'll talk about that Tennessee State Austin Peay game. Austin Peay going into the UT Martin game Saturday with 3 losses. They lost at Western Kentucky 49-10, lost to Virginia Tech 42-7, and fell to Tennessee State 34-14. What about that game, and what about Austin Peay?
Well, first of all, you look at this as I look at it as they're 0-1. And, West Kentucky, who is their opening game, just beat Kentucky on the road. Okay, so what quality opponent. West Kentucky, was 7-5 last year, and they just beat University of Kentucky. Second game, Virginia Tech. I mean, they're probably 40-something point underdogs, and if you watch that game, you'll be very impressed with how Austin Peay competed. All right, especially on defense. So now they play Tennessee State on the road, first time back in Hale Stadium in 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, and they're up at halftime, and they're up with 8 minutes or 3 minutes left in the third quarter, 14-9. Okay, so they've got the lead, and they're playing well, and things just kind of got away from them, and Tennessee State tacked on the score late. So, to me, we were approaching this like they're 0-1, and they had the lead and let it get away from them. So, they'll be, very desperate, very, crawling, scratching, fighting, whatever they got to do to try not to get their first OVC win this week.
Tennessee State, moving away from LP Field for some of their games, they have a home field advantage again that I think was taken away from them when they played at LP Field.
I'm not sure what the attendance was, but I bet it was somewhere from 10 to 12, 15, somewhere in there.
14,000.
14,000. So, you put 14,000 in our stadium, right? And it looks like it did, in 2008 in that homecoming game or TSU game. So, luckily they have to come here this year, and I think they're back in, the Titan Stadium the next year. So we may miss that deal altogether. But to talk more about that game, Austin Peay was stopping the run. Tennessee State wants to run the ball. They're stopping the run in the first half. Missed a couple tackles in the second half. Some throws. I think Tennessee State actually ran for less than 100 yards in the game, but threw for over 300. And it was a deal where they broke some tackles after some passes.
You're basically saying don't underestimate Austin Peay. Don't judge them by their 0-3 record.
No question. No question. We're 5-1 against Austin Peay. But, last year the game got away from them a little bit, but it was a deal to where some turnovers and it just kind of, snowballed on them, and we held on for the win. But, we're not good enough to just roll the balls out and go and play. Our guys know, we talk about it, we have to have energy, we have to play exciting, we have to take care of the football, all those things, plus you're on the road. So, anytime you get a win on the road, well, it's a feather in your hat.
We're 2-1 coming out of the non-conference season. I don't think I've seen our best football at all, and we're 2-1.
Yeah, and that's exciting, But like I said, if it takes winning ugly, the thing is, you win on defense. Okay, we all know that we've had some good offense over the years here, and but there was a lot of ugly wins we had in 2006.
Right.
You remember?
In the first half against Southeastern Louisiana, I was kind of having 2006 flashbacks.
And and that's, you go back to. Sanford game, 10-6. You go back to the East Illinois game, 15-13, 15-12, somewhere like that. There were some games, several games that were under 18 points that we scored. But we didn't turn the ball over and played well on special teams. So, we continue. We'll eventually, the offense will start making some bigger plays and things. But, you got to start making your field goals. You got to start scoring touchdowns in the red zone. You get points when you can. And but each week is different. What the defense going to give you? They, if they're going to load the box like Southeast Louisiana did last week, and make you throw, but you can still run it and run the time, then we're going to do that. So we'll see this week how it unfolds.
Okay, Coach, we'll see you Saturday.
Thanks so much.
UT Martin will be at Austin Peay, 6 o'clock, that kickoff in Clarksville. We go on the air at 5:30. John Abel, Tom Britt will have Coach Simpson on the First State pregame show. That'll do it here tonight from Snappy Tomato Pizza. Thanks for joining us and hanging out here with the good Snappy Tomato Pizza, and you can give them a call at 588-SNAP if you want to enjoy some of that pizza this evening. Big Orange Hotline coming up next on our flagship station, WCMT. And with that, there's a lot to talk about. Coach Dooley's press conference and Bob Kessling talking about the loss to Florida. And Tennessee was in that one early, and Florida just ran away with it at the end. And don't forget to go to utmsports.com on the World Wide Web for all the information you need about University of Tennessee at Martin Sports, or you can go to ovcsports.com also. Thanks to Ty Simpson, too, for joining us. Frank and the gang here at Snappy Tomato Pizza, and Robert back at the studios of our flagship station. I'm Chris Brinkley saying so long, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Skyhawk Talk here on the University of Tennessee at Martin Skyhawk Sports Network.